Now, the internet is rife with headlines saying artificial intelligence is going to take over the world, it's stealing our jobs, it's stealing our wives, it's stealing our children. But I don't think that's the case because, Alfie, today or this week, we tried out an AI action figure filter, right? And listeners, you'll be able to see this.
On social media, yeah, all the rage.
Absolutely. We thought we'll give this a go. We'll jump on this trend. We'll get a ticket and join the bandwagon.
We if anything, this podcast is trendy. What can I say? And we need to hop on all of those niche little trends on TikTok and Instagram to really keep our followers inundated with new trends and how the world is rolling.
Absolutely. That's our USP. And as you can see, it looks fantastic.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. It's really gone to town on it. I said to you, I mean, yeah, look at the thumbnail if you're wondering. But I said to you, why is it duplicated us? And you said, no, don't be such an idiot. It's just got us as the background on the cardboard sleeve and then the action figure inside. And I was like, yeah, of course it has.
What I love is I put it on the Moving Up Instagram as well, so listeners, you would have seen it, but I did one of myself as a film journalist, and I requested that it gave me a podcast mic. Instead of a podcast mic, it gave me what looks like a massive black dildo. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's what film journalists have.
How do you think you get into those cinema screenings? My God.
I see. It's an exclusive club.
I love the way that your two little AI men look different. The one of you on the background looks different to the one of you in the foreground, whereas mine look identical, even down to my slanted, slightly wobbly eyes. It's actually quite impressive that it got that down. I'm quite impressed.
I think they gave you a glow up and they just gave me a middle finger. That's what I got.
I look like I studied rugby at university.
Yeah, I've got a postgrad in ruggers.
Hello and welcome to episode 64 of Movie On Up with your host, me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow.
We are ready and raring to go on this AI-fueled episode. We are on theme. Today we're going to be reviewing, or I'm going to be reviewing almost all of Black Mirror Season 7. That just dropped on Netflix this week. And then, Adam, what are you reviewing?
I'm going to be reviewing the new spy thriller with Rami Malek in it called The Amateur. Got to be careful though when you're looking up the name of that film. If you look up The Amateur film, you're going to get some weird stuff on Google, guys. So just go careful.
That's why your AI gave you that black dildo.
God, it's all making sense. It's got my search history on lock. Oh, I've done it to myself.
Adam also got down to the cinema, and this is breathtaking news. Finally watched my favourite film of all time. Adam finally watched Jaws, 1975's Steven Spielberg's Jaws. And we're going to get some thoughts on that as well from Adam. Yeah, but it should be a nice fun episode. We're also going to have a trip to A-list star and our impressions repertoire. And finishing off with Big Question, which Adam phoned in for this week.
Yeah. I don't think that's a surprise. It's Easter themed at least, right? Because this episode will come out on Good Friday. And I actually would argue every Friday's good because every Friday has a Moving Up episode.
Excellent. I thought you were going to say because the next day is the weekend. No.
Let's talk firstly. I meant to mention it last week actually. The Mission Impossible new trailer dropped, and I think it looks bloody excellent. I cannot wait for this film. And a little bit of behind the scenes goss, if you will. We've been in talks with some folks at Paramount, and we don't want to speak too soon, but we're making friends. We're making friends.
It's looking
in the
pretty
industry.
promising, guys. Not gonna lie, it's looking really promising. The lady, what was her name? Was it Jane?
Jane rings a bell.
Yeah,
Let's go with that.
I think it was Jane, and she just sent this. We inquired, or Adam inquired, and then we didn't really hear anything, and then it sort of got chased up. And then all of a sudden, she was like, "Hi there, yeah, we'll add you to our mailing list and our screeners for podcasters." Like, okay, thanks, Jane. But yeah, no big hopes up yet. But fingers crossed, we might be hopefully getting to go to a screening in an official capacity, which would be phenomenal.
That's the dream. And while we're doing a bit of setup, I guess, before the main episode, have we got time for a bit of house chat? Because I'm itching to know. I'm itching to know how it's going.
For once in the past, so I got this house on the 6th of January, right? And it's now the 16th of April. And honestly, it's been nothing but disaster after disaster. But as of this week, we are having the upstairs plastered. We have 2 men coming to do it very soon. And then all it needs is a lick of paint, some skirting boards on, a carpet, and we can move in and live upstairs in the house.
That's
so
cool.
House chat in about a month's time will hopefully be coming directly from the house.
Oh my God. The acoustics in your room are going to be next level.
Just in time for summer, we can have a little movie on up shindig.
Yes. Oh my God. We should do a housewarming special.
Absolutely.
We could do a house tour, but it won't work very well because it's only audio. But we can just walk around and knock on different surfaces and get the audio for that.
And you guess what item I just knocked on. Yes, that was my Le Creuset butter dish. Well done.
You win a Blu-ray of Jaws.
We are going straight into this week. I think we're going to talk about Black Mirror first. Is that right, Adam? Should I go for it?
Yeah, go for it. Can I just ask a question? I'm sure this is one of those fun facts everyone knows, but is it called Black Mirror because it's like a TV or like a phone, right?
I've literally never even contemplated it, but that makes absolutely all the sense in the world. It would make sense because the intro is the black screen and then like a crack forms in it. So yeah, I think you're spot on there, mate. Well done. Have you watched any of Black Mirror? So season 7 dropped late last week, early this week on Netflix. Have you ever watched any of it, Adam?
Not really. It's a show I've been meaning to get around to for ages, but I mean, you know how I am with TV shows.
Ever heard that one before?
Go on, pull the other one. But I'd heard the buzz about season 7 dropping, of course. I've watched the trailer and it looks really cool, very, very creepy. I kind of fast forwarded through the episode with Peter Capaldi, just because his scenes in the trailer really were like, oh, what's going on there? And out of morbid curiosity, I kind of watched that kind of halfway, got the whole story, but watched half of it really, if that makes sense. And that one was really, really dark at the end, but I guess they're all like that. But I thought that was really interesting, and a great performance from Peter Capaldi, as you can expect. But it's one of those shows that I think, as you said, it's not each episode is standalone, right? I think there might be a couple that maybe feed on or have Easter eggs or whatnot, but I know Andrew Garfield did an episode, not Andrew Garfield, Andrew Scott, sorry, and like Donald Gleason did one in like season 2 or season 3, like great actors that I really adore. So I need to go back and maybe just pick out some standout episodes. But yeah, go on. Yeah. What did you think of it?
So as you said, it's an anthology series. It's sort of in the same vein as American Horror Story, Inside Number 9, where every single sort of episode, or at least, every single episode's kind of individual of itself, its own separate story, usually over an hour. A lot of them are like an hour and a half. So it's basically a film. And yeah, it's created by Charlie Brooker, written by him as well, and it was originally for Channel 4. season 1, 2, 3, I believe, were on Channel 4. Maybe even 4, 5, and then Netflix picked it up, chucked a whole lot of money in it, and then now we're at the point where you're getting Miley Cyrus in an episode and stuff like that. It's got mega money in it now, but it used to be a super low budget sort of British Channel 4 thing. And now it's crazy popular now. So it's inspired almost by like the Twilight Zone, so it's got a huge heavy focus on technology, how it's consuming society, and it crosses over into other genres. Sci-fi really is the main one, but it tends to, it's always usually set in the future, and so the concepts are like have realism in them, but are obviously quite far-fetched. And you're spot on with, there is now, this season, has a direct continuation of an episode from the previous couple of seasons. Basically a Star Trek ripoff. And there is a direct continuation, but that's the first time that's been done. Mostly it is really just very small cameos of crossovers. So Will Poulter has a cameo in this season, and he was in the film previously. And technology sort of crosses over, but overall you can tune into one episode and just sit down for an hour and enjoy it. So we got 6 episodes. It's quite difficult to review because you don't want to spoil any of the twists, but I'll run through them vaguely. So the first episode was Common People, and it focused on someone who had an accident, a medical emergency, and her husband has to sign her up to a brand new technology to allow her to survive, basically. And then you have episode 2, Bite Noir. Basically this was set at like a chocolate factory, and you had someone who's super clever in the job, and then she has someone basically come in and who she used to know compete against her for the same job, and then a sort of history's involved, and there's a lot of like gaslighting involved and that kind of thing. You've then got episode 3, which is Hotel Reverie. This was like very much an AI one where you were someone gets put into a film basically via some kind of AI program, and they interact with the characters in the film, even though the film was made in like the 1950s. Then you had episode 4, which was the Peter Capaldi one, Plaything, and he's sort of the main character. That's quite a common trait with it, is where there's not usually many characters. You've sort of usually concentrate on just a few. My favourite episode of this season was called Eulogy, which was the Paul Giamatti one. I'll say in a minute, but fantastic. And then the final episode, which I have only started, I haven't finished it, is USS Callister Into Infinity, which is a continuation of a previous episode from a few seasons ago. So 6 episodes. Overall, totally well balanced. A really good mixture of depressing, uplifting, sad, happy. The previous seasons sometimes are way too dark. I think it's season 4 maybe. Every single episode, I think it's 4 episodes, every single one is like a boom, this is depressing, kill yourself kind of episode.
No.
Like proper, you think that Peter Capaldi one felt dark. Some of them are scarily like dark and sinister. But no, this season has a really good mixture of dark comedy. Every now and then you get an episode that's quite uplifting actually, or at least quite emotionally poetic, I guess. And it really helps to like alleviate any of the previous really depressing episode that you've watched. As I said, my standout was absolutely Eulogy. The Paul Giamatti one, like phenomenal. And I messaged you the moment I finished it because I knew how much you loved The Holdovers. And was like, right, you need to watch this. And I highly recommend chucking it on because it's about an hour and a quarter, I think. And along with this and The Holdovers together, genuinely like portrayed to me that he should be held as like an A-class actor, like absolutely phenomenal. The like episode has like slow reveals as the information goes, so that basically the episode starts with a technology that allows you to go into old photos and view it, and you sort of just get this story unravel about his ex-wife or girlfriend, and their history gets slowly unfolded, and you get a few little twists here and there. And the way it finishes, it's super sort of upsetting or depressing because you see what could have been. But it's in a nice way. They sort of show that he's overcome it, and it's really poetic. And I did actually have a tear roll down my cheek. It really was so good. The main one I wasn't a fan of was the Bite Noir one, which was the chocolate factory one with the new person starting work. Essentially, it was a little bit too far-fetched for my liking. It introduces like quantum computers and almost time travel and alternative timelines, and it just got a little bit silly, a little bit far-fetched. I do prefer the episodes that are a bit more grounded. But with that episode, there's a cool marketing thing where in the actual episode, the main character gets gaslit, basically. And depending on where you're watching this, there's two different versions of the episode. So you as the viewer also getting gaslit in a certain scene, where you think you saw one bit of writing where it actually says something else. That's quite a cool market employ, I guess, and very meta, which is quite apparent for Black Mirror. Hotel Reverie, also big fan. There's a previous episode from the season a few seasons ago called San Junipero. It's quite a famous one, and I think actually won a Golden Globe. And this one just gave the same sort of vibes as that. Really cool concept, really tense at moments, but like quite beautifully done, and sort of representing like LGBT stuff in like 1950s. And yeah, really, yeah, quite cool to watch. As you said, Capita Poldi is an absolute standout in his episode. The way he chews on the scenery is super cool, and I think that episode itself could have been turned into like a full-length film. Some of the Black Mirror episodes, you're like, yeah, that's a cool short film almost. But this is one where you go, no, you could stretch that out for 2 hours and put that in the cinemas. It was really cool. It ended a little bit too soon for my liking, but I think that's entirely the point of the episode. And then the other one, yeah, so Common People. That's the first episode in the season, and it's so heavy for the season opener. To click on that is I'll watch the new season of Black Mirror, and you've got a woman like on her deathbed getting technology. There's a real obvious sort of Chekhov's gun introduced in the first few minutes, and you're like, oh, that's coming back. Oh no, like they need money, and there's a website where people are doing stuff for money. Oh no. And you can see exactly where it's going. But yeah, a great episode. Really, really impressed. Out of the 6 episodes that dropped, only the one where I wasn't too impressed with it. But overall, man, I was so impressed with this season. I thought it was really good.
Are there any standout episodes from previous seasons that I should check out?
Yeah, so one of the most famous ones is called Shut Up and Dance. It's got Alex Lawther? That is like such a famous episode, and that probably is my favourite episode from previous seasons. And then, yeah, USS Callister, the first part. That's a couple of seasons ago. And then, as I said, I haven't seen this season's episode yet of that. But the first episode is so good. It's got Jesse Plemons in. Jesse Plemons is so good, man. I rewatched the first USS Callister episode last night, and he is proper good. Like, I haven't seen him in Civil War, but you did, didn't you? And he's a standout, isn't he? He's so good. A lot of people are saying that they want Jesse Plemons to play young Philip Seymour Hoffman in the new Hunger Games film. And looks-wise, and probably acting-wise, that's an insanely good call.
Yeah, that is a good shout. I think Jesse Plemons is, I don't know, does he want to waste a few months, though, filming a franchise film? Maybe not.
Yeah,
I think he picks his projects quite selectively, but I think he's really good. He's fantastic, actually, in, what was that dreadful film by...
Kinds of Kindness.
Yes, Kinds of Kindness, yeah. He was the only good part of that, if I'm really honest. Like, him in the first story was excellent, but beyond that, God, it's a film I just did not get along with. Not at all.
You haven't seen Breaking Bad, have you?
No, is he in that as well?
Yeah, so that's like his first big role, I believe, or first really like notable role. He's in season 4 and 5 of Breaking Bad, and yeah, he's like basically becomes the main villain almost.
Sick.
Yeah, excellent in that as well. But yeah, Black Mirror season 7, highly impressed so far. Like I said, I've got 1 episode left, but But my public message to anyone is, even if you're not going to watch this show, just watch the episode Eulogy with Paul Giamatti, because it really is something special. I thought it was great.
So moving on from Black Mirror, but to a fairly similar ballpark, I suppose, if we're looking at tech and surveillance and things like that. The new film, The Amateur, directed by James Hawes, who I thought this was his directorial debut, but I was doing a bit of research just before we started the episode, and he's done a film before. I mean, he's done lots of TV work, actually. He's directed a few episodes of Black Mirror, coincidentally. He's also done some Doctor Who. He did 6 episodes of Slow Horses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's had a pretty illustrious career in television so far. He's done some spy stuff as well. But the film he did before this, his directorial debut, was One Life, which was one of the first films we reviewed on this podcast, actually, back in January. The one with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
and
the Nazi one? The concentration camp one?
Yeah, like rescuing children who didn't get evacuated, things like that, yeah. And I just found that really bizarre. I was like, my goodness, so that's what he did back in 2024, but this is such a weird second project. But here we are. The Amateur stars Rami Malek, basically playing the same role he's played for the last 10 years. A kind of a ostracized loner, really, obsessed with tech. He's basically playing the character of Mr. Robot, right? He's an expert hacker, works at the CIA, and he works on like the 12th floor down or something, like below, like way underground, and very secretive stuff. He can hack into, he's even like doing surveillance on the government itself and like finding out what his superiors have done. And he finds some shady information about one of his officers very early on, actually, in the film, who's played by Holt McCallany, who was the dad in The Iron Claw. Again, that's all I can see him as, because he's so menacing. And in this film, he's playing like this really gruff guy again. It's like, man, I do not want to mess with you. And then he's in the Mission Impossible 8 trailer as well, which I'm like, he is now cropping up everywhere, and good for him, because he's a very threatening presence on screen. I think he really works well in this film. There's also John Bernthal, who is the king of cameos, but this is maybe the most cameo of his appearances. Like he has 2 scenes, and you really think he's going to come in at a certain point in the plot, because there's a moment where one of the leaders of the CIA are like, right, we need to get one of our own men in the field, and you're like, oh, okay, well, John Bernthal had that scene in the canteen at the start. He's going to come in and be part of the film, and he doesn't. Like, they send in someone else that's completely unknown. I'm like, okay, well, why is he in this film then? And he does come back later in the movie, but for one dialogue scene, I'm like, what a waste of a character, like waste of an actor and waste of a character who's built up to be this really effective, gruff spy. I'm like, why is he not? He doesn't even hold a gun in the film. Like, it's really, really properly wasted. It's like he's got scenes on the cutting room floor. It's really bizarre. Anyway, the main sort of premise of this film is Rami Malek's wife goes on a sort of business trip to London, but he's a bit of a, he's very much obsessed with his work. He's a bit of a workaholic, and he doesn't want to let anything slip, or he doesn't want to get behind on his work, essentially. And his wife ends up getting involved in a hostage situation and gets shot and killed. This happens about 15, 20 minutes into the film, at which point he then starts obsessing over, like, right, I need to find every camera and really plot out a 3D environment of what happened here in London. Was it a terrorist attack? Who set this up? Who are the people that were involved in this incident? And he ends up kind of getting in over his head, goes to his superiors and is like, right, I'm going to blackmail you. I found this information about you. I'll leak it to the press. I've got a dead man switch set up. If I don't plug in this number every 5 hours, it will go out to all like the top journalists, and you're going to go down, right? He does that so that he can go after the killers himself. He wants to get revenge, get justice, and go and kill everyone involved in this terror attack, basically. And the film goes from there. It is very different to Black Bag, but I want to bring that up because, again, it similarly, I think, was oversold in its trailer. Even though I love Black Bag, I think this film kind of shows the best scenes and the best jokes in that 2-3 minute trailer. And it's a really strong trailer. It's got great energy and it feels really threatening. And you kind of think that Rami Malek's character is going to grow in confidence and get more skilled as the film goes on. but I actually don't think he really evolves that much. Like, you kind of think he's the exact same person at the start of the film as he is at the end, and there's a bit of a moral-based bait and switch, but it's not anything that you don't see coming. Like, you kind of know that he's not going to be really violent. Like, you know that he's going to pull his punches or not go all the way.
Yeah, he's playing timid Rami Malek from iRobot or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's that kind of scenario. You've also got Lawrence Fishburne in there, playing a what's the word? The kind of high end. It's not Marines in America, is it? Or is it? I can't remember. The high end, proper army undercover espionage stuff. He is one of the trainers. He gets tasked by Holt McCallany's character to go out and basically track down Rami Malek's character and try and stop him from
so it's like,
going on a rampage.
Okay, I see. So he's after him, and then someone else is after him, sort of like a pursuit chase kind of thing. Yeah,
it's really just a cat and mouse sort of chase for the whole thing. At the same time, obviously, Charles Heller, Rami Malek's character, is after a contact that he's been friends with online for a number of years. He ends up meeting them in real life, and that's quite a cool little exchange. That's kind of a nice heartfelt moment that happens maybe 3/4 of the way in. And there's a couple of scenes with him and a character. I won't name who it is because it's a bit of a twist who is actually the alias of that. But I can't help but feel that there's a far better film that was left on the cutting room floor. Like I say, like John Bernthal just being completely swept under the carpet, and scenes that show real intelligence and creative promise, because the way that he decides to take out these enemies are quite creative and interesting. Like, he uses his smarts, not his strengths, not raw power or gun power or whatever, firepower. It's just a shame that it actually feels quite cliche, a little bit by the numbers, very safe by the end of it, and quite an underwhelming final act, I will say as well. It just kind of, you think there's going to be some sort of big explosion, and it actually is just a dialogue scene again, and it sort of sorts itself out rather conveniently. Yeah, it was just really, really strange. And not strange, actually, no, that's doing it a disservice. It's just bland. It's not particularly anything to write home about. It's not doing anything particularly new. It's not doing anything massively that interesting. And when you think it will, it doesn't. So, yeah, it's one of those where you
were fairly excited for this one as well, weren't you? Like, not super excited, but you get what I mean. You were looking forward to it, weren't you? You said to me that you were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Lawrence Fishburne, and Rami Malek as well is, pretty much good in everything. But I can't help but think he needs to avoid getting typecast as this kind of character. And I also, it might just be personal taste, but I do kind of struggle watching him in emotional scenes, because I think he's got such a distinct face, that it's sort of like, I don't believe that you're a real person. Do you know what I mean? Like, he when you see him, like, no one looks like him in the real world. So when you see him, like, even wearing glasses or wearing a hoodie and a cap, you're like, well, that's Rami Malek, the actor.
Past him, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you can't go undercover. You're Rami Malek. So it doesn't quite work.
You played Freddie Mercury and got an Oscar.
Yeah, literally. You kind of half expect him to start singing and rip his top off and be wearing that, like, white
top. Hey-oh.
I'm just a poor boy.
I think what you said about being typecast is true, because even when he was playing a villain in Bond, I think he still played the exact same character, where he's like sort of timid, stuttery. Yeah, I 100% see what you're saying there with the typecast. Though it would be nice. It's interesting because he's played this similar character, like you said, in this film. He played it in the TV show. He played it in Bond, and then he went out there and did a Freddie Mercury biopic, which is insanely different to that. But then he seems to have, by the sound of it, fallen back into that same kind of thing.
Do you remember Amsterdam as well? He was in that.
Was
and
he?
Again,
what?
Yeah, was he like Margot Robbie's wife or something? No, who was he married to in that? I don't know.
Was that the one where Taylor Swift got run over?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, do you remember going to see that? That was
Do you remember we looked at each other at the end like, what? I've never been that baffled by a film. I don't think I have been since. Like, to be that left like feeling so empty and so all over the
just
place.
no resolution. Yeah,
no,
like,
totally wild film. But he plays the same character in that as well, and it's
and in Oppenheimer,
yeah,
he plays the same character in Oppenheimer as
You're
well.
right. I know actors have their brand, right? Like Tom Cruise plays himself, Ryan Reynolds plays himself. Let's be honest. The Rock obviously is the biggest offender. Jason Statham. But just, I don't know, part of me is like, don't you want to go out of your comfort zone a bit? Like, you do it very well. But I think Rami Malek is different to those actors in that he can do other stuff. And I know, I have faith that he can do different character types, but he just doesn't go for it. Or certainly I haven't seen the projects where he's doing that.
Wow.
We're gonna need a bigger boat, right? We're gonna need a bigger boat. What if
Adam finally saw Jaws after years, literal years. I imagine probably the first conversation me and Adam had was, what's your favourite film? And I would have said Jaws, and that would have been about 4 years ago. And the fact that Adam has finally seen it, yeah, take it away, Adam. What did you think of Jaws?
What is there to say? I feel like I've been in this position a few times now after doing this podcast for about a year and a half. You know, I saw The Matrix for the first time. I saw Terminator, Alien. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm working my way through, and I can kind of beat myself up and feel guilty about it. But like every year you're born later than these films is like you've got more of a backlog to catch up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a never-ending list, isn't it? Everyone's got their watch list on their phone notes app, and it's just ever getting longer, and you're never going to finish it. But Jaws is a film I knew that I had to get around to sooner rather than later, especially with it turning 50 years old this year. What really sort of gave me the nudge was it was on Amazon Prime. It was on my watch list. I was like, right, there it is. I've banked it, and Empire did a special magazine actually, which I'm yet to read, but went out and bought it, and the front cover just looked really cool. They got some artists to do a really cool front cover with the shark biting like the title of the magazine. Looks really, really great. It's on sale now. Go and get it. Empire magazine is my bread and butter. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. And when was it? Saturday night, Sunday night, one of the two. Sat down to watch Jaws, and what a treat. I knew I would like it, but I was, very concerned that I wouldn't love it because it's a bit old and there's such a huge, thing around it. I knew it's your favourite film of all time. I'm like, God, if I see it and I'm actually like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I'm going to get crucified. So
the sentence you messaged me was really fitting. I think you said, like, I'm worried that it will pale under the like the concept of it or something. Like you said about how you were just worried that how ginormous this film is in every way possible, and you worried that it just wouldn't tick every box for you. And I think that would be my worry going in to watch old films as well. Like, it's such a monumental piece of cinema, and you're like, God, I better fucking like this.
Yeah. Because you, like, what do you say if you don't, right? It's like, oh, God, you quit that film podcast, mate. But well, can I say this? Yeah. I think I'll say, of the classic films that I've seen and documented while doing this podcast, so things like Pulp Fiction, Alien, that whole, side of stuff that we've done, go back and watch the old episodes. Just give it a look up on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. I think Jaws is my favourite of the classics that I've caught up on, because I wasn't expecting it to be quite as funny as it is. Yeah. I loved all the dialogue. I absolutely adored the colour palette, and I don't know if this is something that people talk about with this film, and I don't know if it was just that I had like all the lights in my house turned off, just the TV on, and I had a pizza, I was ready, I was snuggly, had some covers on the sofa, had my feet up. I was really in like such a snuggly scenario, and the gorgeous blues of the sea and of the sky, of that beach, seaside town. It made me want to go on holiday. I didn't care that there was just a shark out there. Like, I want to go there. I thought it was great. And I think it's funny that I do have I do absolutely have a phobia of the sea. Like, I do not like going. If I know there's fish, let alone sharks, if I know there's fish, I'm like, oh no, get me out.
Yeah,
like,
even in
jellyfish,
like,
I can't stand.
You can't see beneath your feet, can you? It's
no.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it at all. But I kind of was absolutely fine with this, and I don't think it's because of the effects, because I do think they still held up. But I wasn't scared. Like, I was just really enjoying it, and I don't know if I don't think it's a failure on the film's part. I just really had such a good time with the character dynamics, with the sort of gnarliness of some of the scenes, like the bit where the dead guy's head pops out of the boat underneath the water. That's great. Like, these are actors that I'm sure have done other fantastic pieces of work that I just haven't seen yet. But that trio of Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, and Rob Shaw were excellent. And I know they had like loads of behind the scenes conflict as well. There's a whole play that sort of breaks that whole dynamic down. But I thought Matt Hooper as this sort of shark nerd was brilliant. Like, I absolutely loved that character. Martin Brody as the police officer, incredible. He also doesn't look how I thought he was going to look in the film. I think, you know, that dolly zoom where he's sat on the beach and he's got the glasses on and his wife's standing behind him. For whatever reason, I always thought he looked a bit sort of dorky.
He looks drawn, doesn't he, in that one scene? Yeah, he looks, like he'd be a skinny nerd kind of thing. Yeah.
But in the film, he's like, no, this guy is cool. Like,
yeah,
he's kind of hot. Like, he knows what he's doing. He wants to protect the town, and no one's helping him. And then Robert Shaw as well. Not like he's playing like the older guy, like Quint, right? With the chalkboard at the start, iconic, and him just being gruff and totally in it for himself is so good. I almost love that he doesn't really get redemption in the film either. He kind of he just dies. Like,
he just dies being an
sort
arsehole.
of expect him. You expect him to maybe make a sacrifice. No, he just sort of slips really.
He's just obsessed with killing sharks, and he's gonna die killing one. Like, trying.
I was half expecting him to have a peg leg as well, and the scene where they're like comparing dick sizes as well, like. Where they're like, oh, I got that beat. Like, okay, dude, calm down.
Everything about this film makes me want to go into film. Every line of dialogue, there's not a single line that I don't mull over. There's not a single shot. There's not a single bit of music. And I'm glad you said the practical effects hold up, because I think the shark looks good. I genuinely think, even though it's 50 years old, the shark looks good. Obviously, it doesn't look the best, but compared to like having a CGI shark, I think it is way more impactful to have this like beast of a machine that they've got, throwing it up on like when it's eating Quint and it's just out on the boat, like moving its mouth. It's so cool, and it just adds so much practicality to it. And I'm always in favour of practical effects over visual effects, as unpopular as that is, or I mean, it's not unpopular, but yeah, just everything about this film just makes me. You're right, it's funny. It's got moments of like charm. I love it. You can't say anything about this film that hasn't been said before. But I'm so glad that you watched it, and so glad that you liked it, because my God, I could watch this film every day and not get bored of it. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's one of those films where as I was watching it, I knew, like, man, I can't wait to watch this again. I don't know when I'll next watch it, but if you were like, right, next weekend we're going to see Jaws in the cinema, I'm like, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there.
I loved it. I love the poster. I've always loved the poster for Jaws. I think my uncle had it up on his bedroom door, and I remember going to my grandma's house and seeing that all the time, and like kind of running past it because I had to go past my uncle's room to get to the bathroom. And I remember like looking at it and being like, "Ew." And then as I got older, I was like, there's a woman up there swimming. And like, it like sort of documented me growing up. It was like, and then at one point I just wasn't scared of the poster anymore. And it's got such a, like, it's so iconic. Of course it is. It's the Jaws poster, right? I don't think I could name a poster that's more iconic, to be honest. It's probably the best poster of all time. And I mean, John Williams with that iconic score, but beyond that, obviously everyone knows that, like the dun-dun-dun-dun, but I thought it was so joyous as well when people are arriving for the 4th of July holiday. It's got like that sort of adventurous, fun...
There's a bit where they're out on the water and the Jaws, Bruce, has the arrow shot into it and it starts dragging the yellow boy around. And the music really like picks up and goes all like jovial almost, and it's like all violins, and then it like sinks back down and then it heightens up again. Oh, dude.
It's great. It's
the
jaunty.
Scene, yeah. It's so good.
I know obviously Spielberg did this before Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park and all that, but there's
debut
so
film,
many...
right? This is his debut. How'd you do that?
Crazy, isn't it? I mean, I think it's magical and wonderful and so heartwarming that there's so many parts of this. Like the dialogue is as quippy and as funny and as it is in Jurassic Park. I think, you know, obviously you've got a big creature that again you have in Jurassic Park, which is my favourite film of all time. And then you've got the sort of adventurous vibe and the kind of gruff trio of characters that you get a lot of the time in Indiana Jones, and it all just kind of comes back around and it all feeds in and it makes perfect sense that this is a Spielberg movie. And then you can see essences of like E.T., essences of The Fabelmans. I loved seeing in like the scenes in The Fabelmans where it's young, you know, quote unquote Spielberg making his first films with his mates. I'm like, that's what I'm imagining Spielberg doing behind the scenes of this film, and it works so well and it elevates my love for that film, which I'm yet to rewatch. But The Fabelmans is such a love letter to movie making, and this feels like the movie, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard not to overhype it, and it's hard not to put it on a pedestal, but it's Jaws. Like, it's a one-word title, and it's a shark, and it's 3 guys trying to chase it down. Like, what do you want? It's so silly, it's almost stupid, but it works so damn well.
I'd say that the scene where they are, in the cabin of the orca, and they start talking, and then he talks about how he was in the war and they fell into the Bay of Sharks. I'd say like that's probably one of my absolute favorite like chunks of dialogue in a film ever. And then obviously you have the shark starting to break into the boat and it just escalates. I absolutely lament the day we get a remake, because you know it'll happen. And I think of all films that you can't remake, Alien, Godfather, Pulp Fiction, all these films that are just so specifically held in their high esteem and you simply cannot remake them. Jaws is one that I think will get a remake one day. I genuinely think it will, and my god, I just know it will not capture the magic. I mean, we've got the Meg, haven't we? They tried to give it a go, really, didn't they? Just the fact that you can tell Spielberg was under pressure with this film adds so much to the quality of it. Like, it's all the better for it, I think. And there's certain shots in it that are just like, it could have been just setting the scene, right? But there's a moment where they set off in the boat for the first time, and the camera is behind a window in the top of Quint's cabin, right? And it films the boat going out to sea, but through the skeletal jaws of a shark. I'm like, God, that's so genius. Like, that's so fun. Like, it's so uplifting to watch. And every scene you could pause it and be like, that's cool, that's fun, that's tense. Like, there's something about every shot, even if it's just, you know, one object moving. It's incredible. There's that one bit where he goes, I think you'll find that's not the shark that they're looking for. And the fisherman turns around and goes, what? It's so good.
And the bit where they have the fight underneath the big old banner where someone's drawn a shark on it. And I can't remember the exact line of dialogue, but the sort of, is it the mayor, right, that's trying to prevent it from shutting down? He says something about like, oh yeah, I'm sure you'd love to get your photo in National Geographic.
Yeah, National Geographic.
He just he absolutely like crashes out. It's like, I'm done. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
I'm done. See you later.
A-list star. A-list star in our impressions repertoire.
That's right. We are over to our favourite recurring segment. One that disappeared for maybe 20 episodes, maybe longer. And then all of a sudden just turned back up full steam. And now it's been about 4 weeks in a row we've been doing it. A-list star in our impressions repertoire. Who are we adding this week?
This week, Alf, we're adding Steven Spielberg in honour of Jaws reaching 50 years old this year. I think it's got to be done. We've got Christopher Nolan. Have we got any other? I don't know if we have got any other directors, actually. No, I don't think we do. So Steven Spielberg needs to be added there. And then the other one, we'll save it. Let's do Steven Spielberg first. For me, he's kind of the best director of all time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That classic question of who would you have dinner with, or 3 people, dead or alive, you can invite to dinner, or 1 person you want to meet. Spielberg would absolutely be mine. Yeah, he is god tier human. Where on earth will we put him on the A-list star in our impressions repertoire?
It's got to be top 3, right?
Yes.
In fact, I just remembered. Do we not have a heaven section on this where we're in
Jeff Goldblum's up there.
Yeah, I've not added that to the list, so we've got to remember that. Let me quickly make a note. So there is that as an option.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, was there anyone else? Was there someone that died that we added? I don't remember.
Harambe?
Maybe Harambe. Yeah, let's just stick with that. We'll have Jeff Goldblum. We'll do an official reset here, where if we've missed anyone, I'm sorry, but they're gone for now. It's me, you, Jeff Goldblum. Do we put Steven Spielberg up there? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I think he's absolute. Yeah, he is the best of the best. I'd be honoured to meet him. Yeah, he is absolutely going in the cloud, in the sky.
Lovely. That feels right. I know we make fun of the Celeste and we make it silly and goofy, but that feels proper.
And now from one extreme to the other, who else are we putting on the A-list star in our impressions repertoire?
Well, we're putting Robert Peston.
The thing is, my favourite film is Jaws. We're putting Robert Peston on the A-list star just because we don't like him, basically.
I think we've had this discussion multiple times. I think we just forget, but I'm sure I've complained to you about Robert Peston on several occasions, and as have you. So we need to just, put this in writing and make it legally binding that we don't like him.
I need to inform someone on an official capacity that I don't like Robert Peston. And you're not hearing us wrong, listeners. We're not accidentally saying Peston instead of Patterson. We're talking about ITV's political journalist, Robert Peston. What's his show called?
Just Peston.
Just fucking... What an entitled prick. Can you get more self-indulgent?
I'm trying to describe what he looks like here. He kind of wears the sort of fuckboy glasses that Robert Downey Jr. would wear. He's sort of got the stance of who's the guy the actor whose name I always forget but I love. The guy who's in Iron Man 2 that plays the villain. Do you know who I mean?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. I love that actor, but I think he's got, in some of these photos here on Google Images,
I get that
jaunty, laid back kind of. He sort of looks a bit American.
For how Robert Peston looks, his attitude and vibe does not match, in my opinion. He gives off a playful dickhead vibe, but he does in fact look like a Wallace and Gromit character.
He does. He really, really does. That's really good. I like his little scrawny hawk-like nose as well. I don't know how those glasses aren't sliding
Eagle
off.
Would be proud.
Sammy. That is the British way. There's also a photo on Google Images, mate. Look it up. It's by the Times, where it's Robert Peston in a bright pink suit and a white t-shirt, just holding his glasses, and it's so.
I see that straight away.
Where's that? What's the context of that? That's wild. He also starts
We need
every
a
episode
visual
of Peston.
element.
Yeah, we do. He starts every episode with a watch ya like that.
Watch
and my
ya.
dad and I will sort of lip sync it as he does it, and we'll look at each other and laugh and then turn it off. Because it's annoying because
we'll laugh and switch channel.
I'd love to know the the audience audience viewing figures for his show. They must peak. Like it must be an all-day peak. And it just drops off like 5 seconds in after the titles.
Everyone tunes in for the watcher and then immediate switch off.
Yeah. I've had my weekly fix. I just hate the way he sits at a desk, like the way he kind of tries to show his
The
masculine
side of him, yeah.
strength.
But he always does like flimsy hands as well. It's kind of like this, like.
And he's always like gripping a pen like he's going to stab someone with it. It's like, yeah, so what if we just talk about the economics here? If we just break it down.
He always closes his eyes as well.
He does, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's really unlikable, isn't he? I'm sure he's a great journalist, but I just... Ugh.
If Robert Peston has no haters, I'm dead.
Yeah. So it kind of feels right that we put him in the bin, yeah? I think, just to balance the scales of this list a bit. So
we've currently got more puppets in the bin than humans, right?
Yeah, we did.
You could argue Robert Peston's a puppet as well for ITV, but less on that.
Very good. Political satire.
Do
we put him... Is he worse than Johnathan Ross, or is he a little bit better? I don't know.
I think I'd rather watch Johnathan Ross host the Oscars than Robert Peston. So I think he's probably worse. Yeah. No, I want to see Johnathan Ross host Peston. They should swap.
Okay, so this week we have got the absolutely fantastic Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. How are you doing today? And then you've got Peston over on the Academy Awards channel, just going like, yes, so they're about to announce now the Best Actor category. I
didn't actually watch Flow, but...
I thought the substance was really strange. Not for me. Right wing as anything, that film. Very right wing.
Put him in the trash.
Damn right. And then I think the reasoning we should just put Watcher. But I don't know how to spell that. That's the only thing.
W-A-T... Someone's got a G in there somewhere. Watcher.
W-A... What did you say? T-G?
T-G-A. Watcher.
Okay, I think... I've added a H in there as well, so it's a bit wet. It's W-A-T-G-H-A. Watcher. Which is actually, that's quite poetic, because that is how Johnathan Ross would call someone that's name is Roger. So no, jokes aside, if either of you, John or Rob, want to give us some work experience in a journalism newsroom, we'd absolutely take it.
I'll remove you from the A-list star.
Yeah, we'll up you to, I don't know,
God tier.
Paul Rudd level. A-list star. A-list star in our impressions repertoire.
Don't worry, we didn't forget. It's time for...
You do it, Alfie. You do it this week. Go for it.
Big question.
Nicely done. Well done. This week, the big question is... It's really
This week,
shit,
Adam ran out of ideas.
I wanted to do it Easter themed, and then I was like, well, could I do it? Which is your favorite rabbit? And it'd be like Peter Rabbit or the bunny from Hop. But then I'm like, well, no one really likes either of those films, so I don't think it's going to get much traction.
Judy Hopps.
Oh, no, that would have been it, wouldn't it? Damn it. Yeah, that would have worked. I love Judy Hopps. Anyway, moving on. The question this week is, do you prefer mini eggs or cream eggs? And do you know what? I think it's better than we've gone for a general non-film related question, because the amount of engagement I've got has been the highest of any big question so far. This has really got
How
people
damning for this podcast.
Yeah, you're right. We should have done a Cadbury's podcast, if only.
I've got quite a strong opinion on this one, but you go first. Go on.
Okay. You give your results and I'll tell you if the people are with you.
So I used to love a cream egg. It used to be my favourite thing when I was little. I used to love Easter for cream eggs. I used to say, can I not have actual Easter eggs? And can I just have a box of cream eggs instead? And then I think when they sold Cadbury's, the recipe changed. And I think they're shit now. They are not as nice as they used to be. So now I'm a mini egg guy all the way. Mini eggs on top.
Interesting. I think I'm with you. I think I am with you, though. Cream eggs feel a little bit extra. It's a bit like, oh, there's cream inside and it's chocolate and it's really sweet. It's a bit like, mummy, I want everything, please. And then mini eggs feel a bit more proper, a little bit more delicate and petite. A bit like minstrels. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Popping one in your mouth in the cinema. That's it. Just pop one in your have a sip of coffee with one in your mouth, and it's like, it's indulgent, and they melt. Oh,
God, that's dirty. That's really dirty, Alfie. You can't say that on a podcast. Eating a mini egg and then having a sip of coffee. Oh my God.
Feel it melt. Oh.
God, this is the content people sign up for. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm flustered now. Let me just catch my breath. The results for this poll were, in an absolute landslide, 90% of people voted for mini eggs.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is an insane majority.
We had 20 votes in total, which, as I say, is the most amount of engagement of any big question so far. But I wasn't expecting it to be quite so stark. I was really expecting there to be some cream egg lovers, but not really.
I was expecting a Brexit vote here. I was expecting a super close majority or whatever, minority vote, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, mini eggs don't have their own album, do they?
I forgot about that. Fully produced album with original songs.
Yeah. That's where I think Cadbury's is wrong, because the people don't love cream eggs, whereas I think every year there's a real big launch party, out there in, I don't know, where's what's it called, that not Salt Lake City, what's the place in America, Silicon Valley. They're all out there, all the Cadbury's execs. They're out there with like doing shots of cream egg syrup. Oh, come on boys, we're back at it for another year, let's make this the biggest one yet. Cream eggs are on the market. I mean, I say this isn't an Easter time festival. This is, of course, in November when you first see them on shelves. But like, Cadbury's are up in arms. Like, they're so excited when they drop cream eggs, but the people don't care. They want mini eggs.
No, the people do not care. People, you know how you get the McFlurry at McDonald's, which is cream egg? I'd much rather have a mini egg McFlurry.
Yeah. It's like I went for a Smarties McFlurry the other day over the apple cake Minecraft one, because I was like, that's nice. Like, I've tried it. It's novel, but it's kind of got too much going on. Whereas a Smarties, you actually get a bit of flavour. Like, you kind of just think, oh, Smarties are all the same chocolate. No, there is variation in there. And I think you get the same mini eggs if you just let them melt in your mouth. They each have, like, the shells are different. And you've got to have a bit of patience and, I think, a bit of maturity to enjoy a mini egg.
That's the most partridge thing you've ever said on this podcast. That was like a direct quote from...
I think mini eggs show that you've got motherly tendencies.
It's all about caressing one in your mouth.
Fantastic. Right. Seems like a good place to wrap up this episode. You can get in contact with the podcast if you so wish, and you can keep an eye out for the next week's big question. I'm already trying to think of something because I can't do mini eggs and cream eggs again, can I? Boosts or twirls?
Yeah, maybe we should go more vague. Picnics or marathon bars. Maybe we should go more vague with our big questions because it seems to get more traction. So
maybe we should. It could just be like a spin-off of a film, right? It could be like, oh, this is a food that features in there, or this is a music, a musician that's got a biopic, them or this. Like, maybe we spin it off a bit.
I like it. Good idea. Where can they vote on the big question, Adam?
Well, I normally repost it on the Moving Up Instagram, but my personal one I normally keep posting it on, which I probably should stop. But then we got the most followers on there, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, you can go to our socials. They are.
Didn't ask for your life story, mate.
Yeah. Got mate Snappy. At Moving Up for both Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, you can follow us there. And then if you'd like to email in, Lenny and Josh slacking this week, no emails from them. But please email in. We'd love to hear anything you have to say about us, about the podcast, maybe not about us, about the podcast, about the big question, about the films you've seen, what you're excited to see this year, what episodes we should do. Please email in. Bit of correspondence. It's hello@movingup.com.
Smashed it, mate. First try.
What are we watching next week, Adam? So let's have a quick check. We've got Warfare, the new film by the same guy as Civil War.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It looks banging. The marketing campaign's been good. The actors are great and hot. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, apparently it's really violent. It's very gnarly. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard people say it's just the opening of Saving Private Ryan, but for a whole film, which is pretty cool.
Wow. That does sound pretty cool. We've also got Sinners releasing, the new one by Ryan Coogler. Super good reviews on that. And then we have Freaky Tales. Don't know what that is, but it's got Pedro Pascal in. And then we've got Penguin Lessons finally out after seeing the trailer a million times.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll be covering Warfare. I don't know what else we'll be covering, but yeah.
Do review the podcast on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. Share it on your Instagram stories, share it with your mates, put it in your family WhatsApp, and spread the good word of Moving Up. Down with AI, up with mini eggs. Have a great week.